Hey guys and girls, name's Kevin, and today I want to get straight in the point. What is the one thing that we all can do, young or old, to feel like we have a sense of purpose in our lives? Like a feeling of accomplishment. Because if you're watching this right now, you're probably in that stage where you are completely lost. You don't know what to do. And, well, you're struggling. Like I was a few months ago. But, of course, I'm here to help. That's why I start. It's the whole purpose of this video. And yeah, hopefully I can provide you some valuable information, valuable knowledge. Let's get into it, right? Now, the one thing you like, I think you should do. It's more like a you gotta, you gotta do it, and you gotta do everything. That's the one thing. You got to do everything that you desire. Now, of course, that may seem very broad, and of course, because of it being broad, you don't know where to start. But that's all good. I'm gonna help you break it down. Now, let me just explain why. Why this concept? And I'm sure you've heard it from a lot of other people, like, saying do what you love and just get on with it. Do what you love, blah blah blah. But yeah, I mean, I just want to look at this with a little more depth. I want to look at this concept with a little more depth and kind of break it down for you guys so that you actually know where you can start. Now, so why do this? Why this idea? Well, I'll give you two good reasons, and I'll give you a pretty solid example as well. First reason why? Well, can you really? I mean, think this to yourself, like deeply. Can you really settle for the same thing, for one thing, for the rest of your life, for 30 to 40 years? Can you really settle on that one thing and just do it again and again and again and again on a cycle, on a repeat, like a fucking robot? Can you do it? The answer is yes. Cool. All good. Go for it. Like, that's not a problem. But if the answer is no, well, the more reason. Well, the more reason why you gotta try out everything. Why you gotta just pick up the tools and put them together and see what it makes. Take the risk. Well, I mean, that's one of the reasons why. I mean, gives you that sense of, it gives you that sense of adventure and also purpose, because now you have to find what it is that, well, maybe you want to settle for, or just really just go with the flow. Just go with whatever life throws at you. So that's one good reason. And another reason, and this is going to follow up with a good example, is, well, look, following up on the first reason, we're all going to die. Today, tomorrow, a minute from now, 2 to 10 minutes from now, we're all gonna die. And solid example would be when I was walking down the main Queen Street. I live in Auckland, New Zealand. I was walking down the main street and it was all good, green light. I could walk across the road and no problems, listen to music while I was walking, all good. And yeah, the car ran a red light. He took a turn, and he nearly smashed me. He nearly hit me, and, well, of course, being young and dumb, I took it for granted. I just said, fucking idiot, and just walk off. But then, a few hours later, well, it hit me. Holy shit, I could have died. I really could have died. And all that could run through my head was, fuck, I'm not living. I am not living. I am being controlled by. I'm being controlled on how I live, and I just haven't done everything that I wanted to try to do. So, yeah, that's that's just that's a hell of an example right there. I could have died on the spot, and I could have had all that regret. Who knows what happens after you die? So, guys, we're all gonna die, guys and girls. We're all gonna die. I nearly did, and so come on. You gotta live a little. I mean, it's not just about live. It's not about living a little. It's also just about just yeah. I guess you gotta make sure you do it 100%. Gotta make sure you actually experience what this world has to offer 100%. And as long as you did, and you feel like you've actually lived, then hell, I think it'll be a pretty peaceful death. Of course, we're gonna get to that point someday. So just do it, guys and girls. You just gotta do it. And I'll give you another reason why. Another reason why. Well, I mean, you'll turn out to be way more capable. You'll turn out to be way better than you were 5 minutes ago, 10 hours ago, whatever. I mean, think about it. Let's say you have 5 different interests and you plan to go through them in the next 5 years. So, in the next 5 years, all the 5. And now, of course, things may change. Maybe you fell in love with one of them and you want to commit fully on it. So, okay, fine. Maybe there's that one, but then you still find time to go through the other 4. Even if you hate them, even if you're interested, but then you hate them, at the end, it's cool. You learn something, right? I don't know. Let's say it's maths. It's like you went through it and you actually learned the whatever formula there is. I'm terrible at maths. Like you might, I don't know. There might be a stage at one point where you actually need that skill in order to solve a problem, whatever problem it is. So you're capable. You know your shit. Like you know, well, at least something. You know a little bit about something about that, and then it's another thing. Maybe it's chemistry or whatever. Maybe it's biology, and then someone's suffering from some sort of seizure or some shit, and then you save their lives. It's it's such a cool thing to think about, right? Like you're just so much more knowledgeable, so much more equipped, well equipped. You're capable, and gosh, think about the attractions you would get from companies, from girls, from whatever, from guys, whatever you're into. Like the amount of income even that you could produce from it. Come on, it's a no-brainer, right? So another reason why you should. You'll be capable. You'll be money-making machine. Come on. Now let's get enough about that. Enough about the reason. I think that's pretty compelling now. The reasons. Let's think about how. Of course, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna have to break down some barriers. And one of the most common barriers is, well, the fear of judgment, fear of what other people think, whatever your mom, your dad, your siblings, your friends think. And, of course, you don't want to let them down because they're your family. So, how do we approach this? Now, it's a saying I kind of like. This is a saying that I like to say. Nobody is your God. Nobody's your God. Look, if someone controls the way you talk, they control the way you live, they control what you buy, they control what you do, and they just punish you for it, maybe even as well. They're someone pretending to be God. And it don't turn out well for those who pretend to be God. You all know that. So, nobody's your God. You're your own God. You write your own story. You have your own brain. You have your own heart. Even though we have the same blood, it doesn't fucking matter. I hate that whole idea that, we have the same blood. You gotta listen to me. It's like, what? It makes no fucking sense. Why do we still have mixed feelings? Now, that's one thing. That's one way you can think of it. And yeah, you're your own God. You do your own thing. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you realize that, you'll be unstoppable. You'll be unstoppable. Nothing is gonna get in your way. Of course, your family loves you. Maybe I don't know what kind of background you come from, but your family loves you. And they just want what's best for you, and that's cool. So try to let them down easy. You gotta make tough choices. You gotta let them go. If they can't accept it, you gotta let them go. If they do, that's great. They have your back. That's awesome. But yeah, it's not good for you. Especially if you wanna. Well, I guess in this case, they would call it rebelling. Especially if you have an Asian parent. Then yeah. But that's one way to think of it. Now, the next how, of course, is the finance. Of course, the finance. Well, to be honest, this one's pretty straightforward. Get a job. Look, if you're gonna pursue your dreams, if you're gonna do things that you've always dreamt of doing, you gotta get a job. You gotta save up. You gotta get some. You gotta get some money in the bank. You gotta invest, right? So, I work at a crappy bank job at a contact center. Like, it doesn't get worse than that. Well, actually, it can, but you know. So, but yeah, I just try to remind myself of the good stuff. I just try to think of the good stuff, the outcome, the goal outcome by, well, hopefully by 6 months from now. Yeah, hopefully by 6 months from now, then things will turn out great, and you know, I'd be on my feet and start doing the things that I wanted to do. So it's great. Like, that's I try to think of that to kind of to kind of pass through the pain, pass through the depression. Like, doing this job is so depressing. So yeah, you gotta have a job. You gotta hang in there. You gotta sacrifice just a little bit of time and effort for the bigger picture. Of course, you gotta know what the bigger picture is as well, which leads to the next reason how you gotta set up. You gotta set up a general view. You have to set up your own general view of your life. How does it look? Like, by general, I don't mean specifics. Like, I'm gonna be living in Miami Beach, and 10 wives, 20 kids, whatever. I don't mean specifics. I just mean, are you gonna settle? Are you going to live on the road? Are you going to, you know, be a freelancer, jumping around place to place, travel? Just the general things. What is your general view of life? For me, for example, I want freedom, right? I want to be able to go everywhere. So travel and kind of live on the road as well. I mean, I might change, but still, it's what it is right now. So I just gotta try it. Just gotta go and try it. So that's me. Like, that's my general view of my life, how I want to live it for now, like for what I see it now. So what is yours? Have that kind of down. Once you narrow that down, it makes it a lot easier. Makes it a lot easier for you to think about how to approach things, how to get started. Really. Now that we've covered that, that's pretty much it. So, giving you good reasons as to why you gotta do everything. You gotta just do everything, especially if you're at a young age. Now, before I sign off, there's one thing. There's a few things I'd like to note out. This is something I'd like to shout out. Now, don't be pressured by it. Like, like the fact that you had to get your life sorted before you're 30, before you're 40. That's all ideologies, guys. That's all opinions. That's, I mean, yeah, that's simple. It's a simple. It's just that, and an idea, and ideology, and freaking just other people's opinions. So yeah, don't try to not pressure yourself. Be patient. You got time ahead of you. If you're 30, hell, if you're 40, doesn't matter. You just gotta do it. You just gotta do everything. You got that amount of time left, and things come to you. I don't. I mean, of course, sometimes you do take things. You do go to things, and things do work out your way. But I don't like that. I tend to not like that kind of. I don't like setting that kind of expectation. I guess it's an expectation. It's an expectation. So it's terrible. When it comes to expectations for me, it's terrible. So yeah, don't be pressured. Be patient, and yeah, I guess at the end we're all gonna die. So just do it. Just do it. And that's about it. Yeah, I think that covered it. Of course, I think that's about it. Signing off for now. And yeah, have a good Easter.